Hello everybody, welcome back to another concert review video. Today I am going to be talking about a concert I saw last night, which was August the 9th in Salem, Virginia at the Salem Civic Center. I got to see Jason Isbell and the 400 unit with opener S.G. Goodman. Now this is my first time seeing Jason Isbell, and actually, confession, I have only recently, like very recently, within the last like month and a half, 2 months, started actually listening to Jason Isbell's music. And I owe much of that to my friend Tommy over at Tommy's Musical Adventures. Hey, Tommy. And Tommy's really been gnawing at me to check out Jason Isbell. He said, he's one of the best songwriters that's out there. His band is top notch. He's compared his band to Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers in that they can play anything. They're a tight unit, and they've just got that great kind of alternative rock country sound to them. So Tommy recommended this album, Southeastern, which just recently celebrated, well, it is celebrating its 10-year anniversary this year. And it was just recently announced that there's going to be a new remastered version. It's got a new cover with a 10-year aged version of Jason Isbell. There's going to be a deluxe version on vinyl with all sorts of demos and a live record. So you can check that out as well. But Jason is currently touring under this album called Weather Vanes, which I just bought the other day at Barnes & Noble. And it'll show up in my recent finds list at the end of the month. But this is the album that he's currently touring under with the 400 unit. Again, I had no interest really in going to see Jason Isbell, and really the only reason that I went is because the Civic Center had announced a limited run of half-price tickets. So some tickets that were originally going for $45, I got for a little more than $22. So that was kind of cool to to end up saying, okay, I'll go to the show. And I know Salem very well. It's you don't have to pay to park. It's an easy venue. The venue holds over 6,000 people. I would say there were probably maybe, I don't know, 3.5 to 4 there last night. So it was not close to being sold out. Plus the stage takes up several of the sections which aren't sold. And there's also floor standing room as well. So I saw Jason Isbell. I went solo, as I often do. And really solid show. The complaint that I have, the audience was great. There wasn't really any kind of rowdiness around my area anyway. The venue itself is not the best place to see a concert. I've actually never seen a concert there. And for those of you that are fans of the Statler Brothers, the vocal quartet, the Salem Civic Center is where the Statler Brothers played their final show. That is where if you watch PBS at all, they often show the Statler Brothers farewell concert. If you go to any kind of Cracker Barrel restaurant, you'll see the Statler Brothers final show CDs in there and the DVD. That was filmed at the Salem Civic Center, just as a frame of reference. But it's built kind of like a gymnasium, so sound in there is not great. There was a lot of echo. Like the drums, there was always like a counter beat to the drums. And it was very frustrating, especially during the opener. The opener, her first 4 songs, I didn't really know a word. I literally did not know a word that she said. I've got pretty good hearing. I don't know a single word she said on those first few songs. And I hate that for her because, an up-and-coming singer-songwriter, S.G. Goodman, I hate that that was kind of what they had to take away from her if that's the first time they've ever seen her. So I apologize for the light, too. The sun's coming through. But yeah, the sound the whole night was just not great. And I've heard from other people that they've never been to a show there where the sound is just absolutely superb. So, that was kind of the break of the whole thing. So I'm glad I didn't pay full price. But with that being said, Jason Isbell sounded great. His voice was fantastic. His band was again, very tight as a unit. And they played a good part of this record, Weather Vane, which is produced by Jason Isbell off of 30 Tigers Records. So the first 3 songs were When We Were Close, Save the World, and King of Oklahoma, the latter being a personal favorite for me for the night. All 3 from Weather Vanes. He also did, actually the first 4, Strawberry Woman. So the first 4 songs were all from this record. And he also did, let's see, Death Wish, which was the single off of this album. Very, very, very cool. He's kind of got a sound. Um, Musically, I mean, he's right there with guys like Lucas Nelson and Promise of the Real, Brent Cobb. Um, I mean, even like if you want to throw Chris Stapleton in there for like more mainstream stuff in terms of like how the band sounds, his voice, and he's not really straight ahead country. He's from Nashville, but he doesn't necessarily have the Nashville sound. But he's a great songwriter. I mean, he did one, two, three, four. Uh, he did most of this album, I would say. He didn't do the song Vestavia Hills, which is a really good song. Uh, yeah, he did most of this album, and finished with the song "This Ain't It," which is a pretty rocking song. Jason Isbell is a fantastic guitar player. He and his lead guitarist, who, let me pull up his name because again, I'm just a brand new fan to the group. Um, Sadler Vaden plays kind of dual lead guitar with him and does background vocals. They had a couple of licks where the two of them were playing counter melody on guitar and were really, I'm moving my camera a little bit, were really playing like some Allman Brothers kind of licks, like with Dickie Betts and Dwayne, and I mean just kind of like that classic like dual lead guitar sound, which is so good. They rocked. The show really rocked with the songs. He mentioned last night, because this was just announced 2 days ago, so the day before the concert, that this was going to be released as a deluxe edition with a remastered version and an alternate cover. He mentioned that last night. Last night was the first show since this was announced. So he did a couple songs on this record. He did Super 8, which is again about his life on the road, and just this record is about his addictions. He was very much an addict to painkillers, alcohol, and almost killed himself a few times, like just by overdosing. And Super 8 is about him not wanting to die in a Super 8 motel. That song rocks. He did, his biggest song is called Cover Me Up, which is currently, there's a cover of it going around by an artist whose name I won't mention because he's not a very good guy. But it's making Jason Isbell more popular, kind of the way that like an Old Crow Medicine Show put out the song Wagon Wheel, and then it was covered by Darius Rucker. Kind of a similar thing is happening, so he's able to, he's doing okay for himself. And so he did a couple songs from this. Again, he did Cover Me Up at the end before his encore. He did Super 8. He did Stockholm. He did, let's see, Middle of the Morning from this record. No, is that right? Last of My Kind he did, which was like an acoustic song from Nashville Sound, one of his records. Um, let's see. Yeah, Flying Over Water is from this record. Stockholm, Flying Over Water. Some great ballads. He has a great acoustic guitar player. He did some great acoustic guitar playing. And again, just a crackerjack band behind him. So I recommend seeing Jason Isbell if you like alt country with rock. I mean, he's got some like early Wilco maybe, and I mean, not really Tom Petty sounds, but I mean his band is tight like the Heartbreakers. If you like Lucas Nelson, if you like I said, Brent Cobb, guys like that, like kind of like that alt country sound, then check out Jason Isbell in the 400 unit. It was a great show. He's going to be in Asheville, North Carolina in a couple days, or tomorrow night, I should say. So see him if you can. And again, great crowd. The opener was great, other than the fact that I couldn't understand the first few songs before they were able to mix some of her sound. But anyway, Jason Isbell in the 400 unit, Salem, Virginia. It was great. It's really kind of turned a new leaf for me for liking Jason. And again, I was never a major fan of his. I couldn't get into it at all. I couldn't. So Tommy, thanks for getting me into him. I've already ordered a couple more CDs of his that should be coming later, which will be on my August CD finds. So in the meantime, subscribe. I'm almost at 900. Let's get me there. Please subscribe. Thank y'all for commenting, and y'all be good. Take care. Talk to you in the next one. Bye now.